Oh, one more. Let's get together and feel alright. One more. Oh, one more. Let's get together and feel. Wow, it's so good to be here. Hello, friends. How is everyone doing? Okay, my name is Rema and I'm a psychologist. Probably you can call me a psychotherapist. And I'm here to discuss about mental health. Yes, I know many of us are actually so used to the word mental health, and it's packaged with a lot of things. Yes, I am here to talk about mental health. I'm here at Christ Proclaimer radio station. Yeah, it's so good to be here. So today I am going to be talking about positivity. Many of us don't even have a positive vibes. It's good to keep a positive energy. I mean, for someone that wants to attract a lot of good things psychologically, it's good to have a positive vibes. So quickly, I am going to give us psychological effects of having a positive vibes. So when we talk about positive vibes, what are we saying? What do we mean by positive vibes? Okay, probably let me say two-thirds of people naturally live with this kind of a thought of negativity in their everyday life. Why? Because you don't see some things coming to pass in your life, or maybe perhaps you've hoped for a lot of things to come to pass in your life at a particular stage or at a particular point in your life, and because those things does not look like it, or because those things does not come in shape into what you or when you figured them to come to pass, then you tend to develop a kind of negative thought. You start thinking, I'm not good enough. You start thinking, it's never going to happen to me. You start thinking, it's not meant for me. I don't deserve it. I don't do this. Your thoughts start developing towards negativity around you. And you tend not to see anything positive, even if opportunities that could give you the privilege to attract that particular thing, that particular positivity you've always wanted. Maybe you want a job, you want to get married, you want to buy a car, you just want something good in life, and it seems like nothing is coming your way. I'm telling you now that if you don't give up on your positive energy, then something will come. One of the reasons depression seems to be so much in our generations, and a lot of things around us seems to be so depressing, is because we've not been able to develop a positive vibes. Just look at yourself and tell yourself that even if everything around me is not looking okay, I believe that things are going to be okay. That is one of the major ways to actually decrease depression in our society, when you tend to build a positive energy. Be positive. Try to see positivity in the way you think. So your energy, your reactions, your behavior, or the way you relate with other people around you can be positive. And when we talk about positive, it's not really because negative thoughts will not come. It's not really because you're not going to have thoughts like, am I going to die? Am I a loser? Am I a bad person? Am I a failure? That is one of the things everyone struggles with in our day to day activities. The average human beings study with, they actually struggle with, how do I put now? They struggle with negative thoughts. So they keep looking down on themselves. They keep looking at themselves to be more of what God has not made them to become. It makes them run into depression, run into anxiety, and majorly it just gives them a low motivation to actually put their efforts towards their daily activities. So when you see someone around you that tends to have a low motivational drive, I think you should check what is wrong with that person, because it might be as a tendency of having a negative thought. Negative thought is everywhere. You don't really need someone to sit you down and tell you that you're having a negative thought before you discover one. Right now, as I'm talking to some of my viewers right now, I know some negative thought has run through your mind today, and you're like, okay, how can I make this work? I think you need to just breathe in,
Breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, and tell yourself that I choose to be positive. When you choose to be positive, you discover that your energy is back, your motivation is back, your drive is back, and you just see yourself doing things that you don't imagine yourself to do. And as you get your energy back, as you get your positivity back, as you get your vibes back, you see yourself attracting something good today, perhaps. You see yourself with a smile attracting a kind of peace of mind around you. You see yourself attracting a kind of positive energy to do certain things around you. So when we talk about you developing a positive thought, you should know that psychologically it has effect on every of your reaction daily. It has effect on everything you do daily. This is why we have people say affirmations, we have people say confessions, we have people say things to themselves, looking at the mirror every day and saying positive things to themselves because they need to direct their thoughts to positive things. You need to intentionally build a kind of wall in your mind, in your thoughts, and say positive things intentionally to yourself. And by doing that, you see yourself, even if things around you naturally might not look like what you're professing to yourself, but you have to believe. And one of the ways to believe is when you develop an attitude of positivity, an attitude of positive words to yourself. Now, I want you to just look at yourself wherever you are right now and just say something positive to yourself. If you've not told yourself that you are wonderful, you are good, you have peace of mind, you have money, you don't lack any good things, you have everything you need in life, even if it doesn't look like it, I just want you to say something good to yourself. Just look at yourself right now, wherever you are, and just say something beautiful to yourself. Say something so awesome to yourself. Just look at yourself and see how wonderful you can build a positive energy. And if you're having a bad day, you can, it's not too late, it's really not too late to develop a kind of a positive energy for yourself. Just practice this that I just told you by saying something good to yourself. Regardless of how stressful your day has been, regardless of the things that are still ahead of you to do, regardless of the workload that is on your shoulders, just say something good to yourself. And by saying that, you discover that you feel a little bit relieved, you feel more at peace. Yeah, and you have nothing or nothing at all to worry about. Like the things that keep your mind occupied are worries. Worries of how to get this done, how to get that done. What if I don't get it done? Worries about failure. What if I'm a failure? What if I don't become what I want to become in life? Worries about fears. Fears like, okay, I'm never gonna become this. I'm never gonna be better. Maybe I'm actually a repeated pattern in my family or wherever I found myself. Maybe I'm not making something good out of life. Those things are negative thoughts. So you need to really demote, you need to really diminish the walls of negative thoughts by allowing your positive energy to come into place. And the only way you can allow them come into place is by saying something positive to yourself. So how will you say something positive to yourself? And what are the positive things you should say to yourself? What do you think are the positive things that when you initially say them to yourself, it works for you at that particular time? Um, the scripture says that for God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of sound mind. Now, sound mind comes from a positive energy, a positive mindset, a positive thought. When you have a sound mind, it means you have a positive thought, not because negative thoughts will come knocking in your heart and trying to weigh you down, trying to make you feel sad, trying to make you feel less of what God has made you, trying to make you feel not important, not relevant. Those are the works of negative thoughts, and you can conquer them with a sound mind. You can destroy them with a sound mind. You can demote them with a sound mind. And the best way you can demote them with a sound mind is making sure you keep a positive mind always, at all times. You know, the scriptures also say that as a man thinketh, so he is. So there is power in your mind, there is power in your thoughts, there is power in whatsoever you say you want to be, or whatsoever you tell yourself that you are. There is power in it. And that power go as well as when you speak them to yourself, it penetrates through your hormones, it speaks a language to your brain. And when they speak a language to your brain, there's a way your brain reacts to whatsoever information you are perceiving from whatsoever you are feeding on. So when the brains in your head, the hormones in your head, when they pick those particular information, in psychology we call them perception. Perception means the way we interpret informations around us. So when they pick those informations, when they pick your positive vibes, they go as well as settling those words in your soul, in your consciousness, in your thoughts. For example, if I'm telling myself right now that I am the best, it go as well as telling myself in my mind that I am the best. So if anything daily or something around me comes completing with what I just said now, it's really not going to have much impact on me as much as I have told myself, as much as I am telling myself that I am the best. So what you tell yourself is actually very, very important in your day-to-day activities. It's very important in relating with people. It's very important in how you see yourself then. And it will actually go a long way in how you react, how you behave, how you talk, and what you say to people. Have you ever noticed that people who actually feel good, who feel positive about themselves, tend to feel positive too about other people around them? I think you should check that. That is actually so accurate right now, because when you feel good about yourself, when you feel positive about yourself, people around you feel positive too. They feel that positive vibe from you. They are attracted. That's why you see when you smile daily, when you say something good daily, it attracts others too. And others just get to feel that vibes like, okay, I'm good. Yeah, I'm very good. And you know, when you see someone else, you tell the person you're good too. And the person tends to look at you and like, what's wrong with you today? There's nothing wrong with you. You're just being positive. It's not really because positive is not the absence of troubles or problems. Positive is the presence of faith over fear. So when you tell yourself that I am the best, I am going to achieve this, I am going to become a better person, I I see beyond my limitation, I see beyond my weaknesses. There's a way your energy gathers together towards those words, and you just get to be more effective at everything you see yourself doing. It reduces depressions, and I'm going to tell you more when we come back.
I will lift up mine eyes to the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from.
Wow, you're welcome back again. It's so good to be here again. So I spoke about being positive earlier on, and I was able to do a lot of explanations about being positive Oh my God, I love that word positivity so much, and it's getting into me right now. So quickly, I am going to talk to us about the things that create positivity, how you can create positivity. What are the things that you need to do to become positive? I am going to be sharing that with us right now. So we have two types of atmosphere. We have the internal atmosphere and we have the external atmosphere. So when we talk about the external atmosphere, we are talking about the environment around you. So environment has a lot of things to do with your positivity. Many a times when we come from family backgrounds, we come from experiences around us that seems to be very negative. They are so negative, and it seems like you cannot even get something positive from those things. Imagine you leaving the house very early in the morning and looking at the stress you have to pass through to get some things done, and yet a lot of people around you don't make you feel good or appreciated for what you've done. You tend to want to develop a kind of negative vibes from it, and you just be like, okay, fine. It seems nothing good is around this place. Or when you sit down and think about the things you've gone through in life, think about the pains, think about the ups and downs. You think about the days you've always wished for some particular things, and those things are not yours. When you think about these things, they can bring negative energy. They can make you develop a negative habit. When you think about maybe something in your life that seems not to be going well at this particular point in time, and you don't tend to see something good coming out of it, you can actually develop a negative vibe. So if you really want to come out of those things, you have to start seeing more of the lessons than the problems. For example, if you are going through a particular thing and that thing looks impossible, maybe you are pressing forward for a particular project, or you desire something at this moment, and then the country or the situation of the society is not making it look like something good is coming out, then you need to shift your focus away from the problem and put your focus on the fact that things will become better. Irregardless, you have to shift your focus to the fact that there is a positivity in you, that you will eventually get what you want. So you stop thinking about the delay of getting those things. You stop thinking about the fact that those things are not coming the time you really need them. And I think that's one of the things that create negativity in the surroundings. When you really need something at a particular time, you're not getting it. And you're just like, I can't wait anymore. I'm just tired of waiting. If you really want to get it, you don't have to be tired of waiting. So you have to shift your focus away from your environment, shift your thought away from family issues, shift your thought away from environmental issues, your work issues, maybe at your workplace, you are not getting the results you've always wanted or you've always desired. Shift your focus away and start shifting your focus on it will get better, it's going to be okay, and irregardless, you will come out a winner. So when you start positioning your thoughts based on these things that I just said, maybe you have any better word, any better synonyms you can use for these sentences I just used now. Just say something good. Just look away from everything around you. Yes, we can looking away from it cannot lift the problem, but looking away from it can actually help you attract something positive. It can help you develop a positive energy to make some things work out. So just take your energy away from it. Don't focus on the problem. When you focus on the problem, eventually you will become the problem. So shift your focus away from the problem. Shift your focus away from environment. Shift your focus away from experiences, from the pains. Pains you feel like, okay, I can't forget this in my life. You can eventually forget it if you chose to stop thinking about it. Take one day at a time. Choose to be intentional about your thoughts, one day at a time, 1 minute at a time, 1 seconds at a time. Just shift your thoughts away from your surroundings. Really shift it. Then I'll talk about the internal effect. Now, the internal atmosphere, the last one I just finished discussing about the external, and I was able to establish our external factors, which is experience, environment, and childhood. So, I am going to establish something on the internal effect, which is our thoughts, how we process our daily thoughts. Now, I want you to understand something that until we become intentional about our thoughts, we really will not make anything good out of our thoughts daily. 90% of human day-to-day activities is full of worries. I mean, real worries. If you have the privilege to really look into the mind of people, and you can just picture what they are thinking right now. Someone is picturing how to build a house, someone is picturing how to get something done, how to get a car, how to make money, how to live life to the fullest. And economics said something that said human needs are insatiable. That is, no matter how you keep thinking about the things you want in life, you will always need something. So even if you have billions of money, you will continue to need something. And there's no amount of money you want to have in life that will satisfy you. You can check it psychologically. Even the richest of the richest people in the society still need something. They still want something. They still desire something. So if human struggles, I'm talking about the internal part of human now, the human struggles, our thoughts daily is based on worries. And many of the things we get concerned about, we are worried about, are actually not needed. They will come in their own due time, in their own right time, in their own programmed time. But because we as humans, as we've programmed that, okay, this should be the particular time these things should happen to us, we tend to, like, if it is not happening, we feel down, and we feel like we are a failure. Maybe we've tried so many things, and those things we've tried are not working out. Then you tend to start thinking maybe there is a particular something somewhere that is actually forces that is actually making you lesser than what God has made you, what God has created you to be. So I think you should work on your inner struggles now. Work on your inner struggles. And then what I mean by inner struggle is by your daily thoughts. You work on them. And the best way you can subdue them is when you subdue them with positive thoughts. For example, if you are having a thought that today is going to be a bad day. Now, for you to actually initiate that thought that today is going to be a bad day, you've actually attracted something bad. So you can unlearn that particular thought by telling yourself that today promises to be a good day. I am going to become the best person. Regardless of how many failures I've had in the past, this is actually going to be the best. Regardless of how many things have happened to me in the past, I am actually going to make the best out of life, the best out of family, the best out of work, the best out of environment, the best out of whatsoever society is demanding from me. Just subdue those internal struggles with good thoughts. Maybe you have a negative thought, like perhaps you're driving and you're like, okay, I don't want to have an accident. There are some people that tend to develop negative thoughts like that. You just calm down, give yourself a break. You are not going to have an accident, you are not going to die. Maybe you've gotten a doctor's report, and what the doctor is saying is maybe you have less than few more months to live, or maybe it seems like there's nothing good that's going to come out from your head. Give yourself a pause. Be positive. Psychologists have been able to get a result that most times when we develop a positivity thought, like when we develop a positive thought, it has a way of healing us faster than killing ourselves, especially with COVID. Fine, we have to protect ourselves, we have to make sure we are using the necessary things that we need to use to protect ourselves from COVID. But at the same time, you really need to stay safe by building a positive thought. Don't think because you've seen COVID happening to people around you, it's going to happen to you. You know, you can skate through. You don't even have to see yourself being a COVID patient. You see yourself like you are coming out healthy every day. You are becoming more healthier. You are eating something healthy and you are better. You know that's what environment is saying to you, and you can tackle what environment is saying to you by building a positive thought. That's a healing process. Now, when you build a positive thought, both externally and internally, you see yourself having peace of mind, number one. Number two, you see yourself reducing your level of depression, you see yourself reducing your level of anxiety. And that is the best way you can fight negativity in your day-to-day activities. But till then, when I'm going to see you next time, keep fighting negative thoughts, build positive thoughts, and build positive emotions around you. I'll see you guys again next time.
This song says, hallelujah, hallelujah. That's what my song will be.